Hi, I'm Arthur, and I am once again asking you to look at this. Look at him. Look at all he can accomplish with his tiny body. He's adorable, right? Praise him. Yeah, we're talking about the leagues again. I find there aren't enough lore videos out there giving a good succinct dissection of any of their lore, however minimal that is. So today we are discussing one of the most prestigious and acclaimed of all the leagues, the Greater Thurian League. Thurian? Thurian. To be fair, I've heard it pronounced either way, but I digress. The Greater Thurian League is one of the many massive groupings of the Leagues of Votann, comprised of a well-balanced group of different kindred. The best way to think of them is they are essentially the Ultramarines of the Leagues of Votann. They're on the front of the Codex, and they represent the core values of what it means to be a kindred. They have the whole pragmatic survivalist doomsday prepper mentality down perfectly. They have great usage of resources at their disposal. Like a lot of other kindred, they have some pretty unique and interesting history. A good example of this is that they technically have the only named character model with any fleshed out history. I say technically because there is that anniversary model which can't be used in-game, which is weird. So, to get into the history of this character, let's ask the simple question. Who is Uther the Destined? Long ago, amidst what is described as a Knight of Strange Omens in the Codex, which my head immediately went to Raining Frogs and Perturabo smiling for no reason, there was a clone born in the up-and-coming Greater Thurian Leagues. When the clone batch was taken out of the oven, the Votannic core suddenly started to vibrate forcefully. It spat out some cryptic mumbo-jumbo that the Grimnir in charge of looking over probably had a panic attack over before reading. It simply said that one of the clones just birthed were destined to be one of the greatest kin to have ever been. The autoforges in the nearby foundry began to automatically pull up some ancient sword schematics and automatically made it to perfection, creating the Sword of Ancestors, which perfection is a word for it. Holy shit! It doesn't specify how they knew it was Uther. I assume that when they say that he was cloned in a batch, it was just like him and a bunch of other kindred. But I think they kind of just picked him because of some random statistic, because making one single clone doesn't really make sense. I personally like to think that they just waved the baby Uther in front of the giant robot head and a single eyebrow cock going, eh? To which, in some forgotten language, the Votannic core essentially just said, yeah, sure. And thus the legend was born, I guess. He's a legendary general due to him literally being destined for greatness, either genetically or metaphorically or magically even. I really like that in lore he's described as being ruthless to the point of being cruel, but having a bit of a sardonic sense of humor. I really like that as a concept. It's not often that someone's sense of humor is described as gallows humor in the lore 40k. Most people tend to be too depressed to have a sense of humor at all. He's most well known for a campaign that just recently finished, or is in the process of finishing still, which is the Battle of Orgver, which I have no fucking clue how to pronounce that. I'm just flying blind here. Which is very intriguing. Basically, with the Cicatrix Maledictum opening, also fuck all of you, I can say it right. But yes, with the Great Rift opening up, many kindred holds were enshrouded by it and consumed by warp storms. One massive hold, which was a grouping of various planets, was right next to one of the more aggressive storms. It ended up in a pretty bloody conflict with a massive fleet of not one, but 2 Chaos Space Marine chapters, one of which being the Purge, which are fucking awesome, and the other being the World Eaters, which are relevant right now. Both of them have relatively the same goal, so it made sense for them to work together. That goal? Kill everything that ever existed, ever, so that you can kill them. That's a goal that you can have, I guess? So, essentially they were primed to murder fuck an entire collection of worlds, to which the space dwarves, being dwarves in space, elected to hide in their massive bunkers and try and weather the storm, which most of the time would work. This time, though, one individual spoke sense to them, and that individual was Uther the fuck you, I'm right destined. he more or less pointed out they could totally outsiege, outgun, and overwhelm the lands of the kindred with a mix of demons and marines, so a mass exodus strategy was planned to save as many kin as possible, as well as get the resources and destroy the equipment that they couldn't take with them, while running and gunning as many of the Chaos Marines on the way out as they could, which actually inevitably landed a win for the Greater Thurian Leagues, all because of Uther, which is kinda cool. There is a single sentence describing that the leader of the Khornate warband of the World Eaters was especially pissed off, calling them cowards as they fled, but I like to imagine every single kin flipping them off stoically in their ship as they hovered away, just slowly levitating. The foundries, the tech, everything that was nailed down was destroyed, as I mentioned, to prevent it from being put into the hands of the heretic Astartes. Due to this whole reckoning, even though they made it out alive mostly, the kin were still none too pleased about the whole situation, to be honest, ending with grudge bands being made. Which, if you don't know what a grudge band is, it is a group of especially angry kin who want to murder one specific individual group of people. Think of it as weaponized racism, if you will. And that is more or less the up-to-date lore of the Greater Thurian Leagues. There's not much. The Battle of Orgvair is kind of the main thing, and I feel like I missed something else, but other than that, there's a few named characters in the lore that don't really get much say. A few characters that died during the Battle of Orgvair that had like maybe 1 or 2 sentences dedicated to them, which I don't really... Again, it's like super pedantic to just bring up every single one. I do know that other than the Battle of Orgvair and the basic stuff that's in the Codex, they did get a single sentence in Arcs of Omen, so that's cool. Once again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Gotta show reverence to the ancestors, don't you know? Before I go, I just want to once again point this fella out. Look at him. Pretty model, isn't it? Too bad there isn't a data sheet in the Codex that can have these specific weapons. Thanks, GW. I love having expensive miniatures. I can't Hello. Post-video Arthur again. Just here to say thanks for watching. It's insane to me how fast this channel has kind of started to grow. I remember like less than a month ago, I had below 100 subscribers, and now I'm about to hit like 2,500 in like the next few days. That's insane to me. I'm very grateful, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I promise I might lay off the Leagues of Votann content for a little bit and cover more Xenos that people are actually asking about. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.